was all alone. And you showed up under my umbrella. Oh, shelter from the cold. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? I saw you all alone. Your eyes match the weather, raining under pressure. Oh, you say you wanna go, yeah. So let's get away from here. Let's get away from here. Let's get away from here. Strangers stand lost in time with one another. The hourglass takes us
started to fall, and where were you? How could I know you were falling too? Grabbing the wind, cutting my skin, but it's hard because I'm falling. Tell me why I'm falling. Oh, life's calling, but it's hard because I'm falling.
Oh, I'm doing pretty well. Season is underway, first week under our belts. So if you're in the position I was, didn't have a great first week, it's only the first week. We can turn it around easily. So don't get your heads held down too low and bounce back this week.
All right, apparently my mic didn't work, so Speed is just talking himself. So that's what happens when you switch the stream setup up a little bit. So apologies for that, but I was trying to say welcome back, everyone, for Players of the Week. First time in Season 7. It's good to be back. We haven't had these in a little bit, and yeah, we're excited to get through them. So we're going to go pretty quickly through these as we've got a few to get through before our match tonight. So why don't we get things underway and start things off in the Titan League? Um, and Speed, why don't you tell us briefly about what you saw in the Titan League and what you know about the players that are competing for this award?
Titan League, obviously the best of the best that Nemesis here has to offer. So, you know, I saw some crazy clips from the first week, double taps, flip resets, everything looked amazing. But ultimately, you know, there was one player that really did kind of stick out, you know, stat wise, game win percentage wise, and everything included with that. Um, but it was a close race. There was a couple of close contenders there. So, you know, week one player of the week for Titan did end up sticking out to one person, and that did go to Duckworth from Nebula. Um, and, you know, 75% game win percentage, 453 score per game. It just kind of really stuck out to us here. So he's going to take it home.
Definitely huge congratulations to Duckworth, one of the new players. I believe he's a 2K as well, so definitely someone to watch out for. There've been a lot of 2K rivalries up in Titan League. A lot of Player of the Week awards usually go to those guys because they just perform so well. So congratulations to him. And let's move right along now to the Rival League, where we had another very close race here. In this one, in Rival, it came down to, for us, it came down to a pair of teammates who were both on Hydra. It came down between Mayo and Teshega, and narrowly edging this one out. I think this might be the closest margin I've ever seen, but narrowly edging it out is Teshega taking home the award.
Yeah, I'm looking at these stats, Rockerman, and they're almost identical across the board. And the one difference that sticks out is you flip-flop their saves and their assists, and it's a 0.33 difference. That's the difference right there. There's a 0.33 difference that Teshega beat out Mayo with.
Yeah, that was an insane.
If you want to talk
race.
about a close, and their teammates, like how does that happen? How does that happen? Like, of course they went 2-0 this week. Like, and they swept both series. Like, they had to have with those stats like that coming from teammates.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, just a huge performance from them. Teshega, he's taken home the award. So, huge congratulations to him. And yeah, it was so close. It's so hard to tell for some of these races. We go into a lot of depth when looking at these players of the week, and Teshega narrowest of margins, being out Mayo there. So congratulations to him. Let's move right along to Challenger League. A lot of great contenders here in the running for Challenger League. I saw a couple of my teammates actually, Mirley and Jaegers, very close to this race. Shout out to Ethan, Mr. Climax, who is up here, Milk, Renix, Snipe. A lot of great people. I see Owenator and Q from Papayas on there. A lot of great contenders. Also, Isaac is there. But the winner of the week, or the winner of the player of the week, is going to go to Cool Kyle RL, who I will say, Flame had a great week last week. Speed 2-0. We just played them right before this stream, and the man is crazy. Flame is a really good team. We ended up taking them down in 5, but they are a team to be contended with, and I think maybe Cool Kyle taking a little bit to heart when I said they're the play-in team in my news prediction. That they were my confirmed play-in team, and they're definitely, now that I've seen them play, I think they're definitely a playoff team. Definitely someone to watch out for, but congratulations to him on that one. And we'll move right along now to the Prospect League now. Speed, what can you tell us about this one?
Prospect, the first week, honestly, there was some surprising results. Player-wise, though, you know, I'm not surprised to see, you know, players up here. You got Josh, or Soda now. I don't know. Soda. I don't know what he changed his name to. Soda something. Puggle's up there. 5/3 Stupid. Slays is up there. King Muff is up there. Davi. You know, you got a lot of players that are drop-down Charlie players, but you also have a lot of new players as well, and returning prospect players from last season. But ultimately, who came home with this one was King Muff, going 6-0 in games last week, giving, you know, the Wyverns 2 sweeps. Just player like that with high stats like he did, averaging 443 points a game, and a goal and a half a game. You know, going 6-0, you kind of can't beat that.
Yeah, really, it's hard to beat 6-0 on the week, and put a good performance and beat some good teams as well. So congratulations to King Muff. And let's get right on to the last one. Last but not least, we have the Novice League, which we'll be seeing coming up next here. A huge week for novices. There's a lot of contenders. Taking a look at some of the contenders here. We have MB Outcast, DBN, Paranoid Monk, I Dug Your Grave, Jeff Masters, Chunk Light, Mr. Silent, Flight Knight on there, Mr. Marino. A lot of great players, some new players, some old players, making their way onto this one. But could only give it out to one person. And again, this was another close race here with how this one went. But the player of the week for the Novice League is going to go to Jeff Masters from the Welfs, and that's the third player of the week award in the first week there for the Dragon Energy org, and they really popped off this week's speed along with Jeff Masters. I mean, the whole org there putting in some work and putting the league on notice.
They really are, and I was kind of surprised to see that because one of my players you mentioned, MB Outcast there. I saw him score 3 4-goal games, and popped off with 22 goals in 2 series. But having to go to 2 game 9s, and not quite pulling out the win percentage. Taking a look at Jeff's stats here and seeing what his were, and going a perfect 6-0 on the week. I can't be sad that he didn't get it after looking at what Jeff Masters did here in that first week and that whole org. They definitely earned after week 1 being power rank 1 as an org.
Yeah, definitely so. Huge performance, and big congratulations to everyone taking a Player of the Week award for week number 1. It was a crazy week 1. Hopefully we can keep things rolling here tonight as we're trying to push for that Twitch partner. I hope you guys can join us for the ride. We got some more action coming your way. Quick shout out to Scraps, who is resubscribing here for 2 months. And also, I showed myself out last time, but just popped up finally, 25 months for me there. It's been a long time we've been affiliated. Hopefully we can, it's been about 25 months we were affiliated. Who knows how long until we get partner. We're grinding for it. Got to keep the viewer count up there and keep things going. But we got a match to get into here. So we are going to get right into the action. We're going to send it to the booth where Magic Pepperoni and Jaegers will be taking it away. Let's send it.
All right, appreciate it, guys. As we head into week 2, I couldn't be more excited. And we have some banger matchups on tape for y'all tonight, and I cannot wait to get started. And I got Jaegers alongside me tonight. How you doing, bro?
I am doing fantastic. Just had a banger of a series myself. And I'm ready for some more Rocket League action, Magic. Ready for the stream to get underway.
I feel that. And if it's anything like our last Monday stream, it was a complete banger. We had several best of 5s that went the full distance. And I think we probably will have some similar situations here tonight, as we have 3 matches that are probably going the distance. And we do start off in the Novice League, where we have Frost taking on the Crows. And these 2 teams are kind of interesting, Jaegers, because they just basically swapped players before this week, with Icarus going to Frost and Angel going over to the Crows. So just swapping players straight up. I mean, what can you tell me about these rosters?
Absolutely. If you didn't mention it, I was. That's a very interesting thing, especially before 2 teams play each other. But the Crows and Frost both nursing a 1-1 record after week 1. Still early, so both teams have time to make decent pushes for like 17 win runs. But so far, the Crows, I mean, they have Icarus, It's a Chad, and a backup he? And Icarus and Is a Chad were also prospect last season. On the flip side, on Frost, last season they went 15-6 before falling to the Spitfires in the grand finals. They have They don't have Icarus anymore. They have I believe it's Angel is no.
It's Icarus, Rooney, and Crispy Waves now. So they only have 3 people in the roster now. So it's interesting.
I did just muff that. My notes were all wrong.
Your muffs are probably like 3 hours old, and that's just enough to mess you up with the craziness going on in the Novice League. And both teams were able to win on Monday, but did fall flat on Wednesday. As I think the Frost took down the Spitfires, which is a pretty solid win, getting some revenge for finals last season. And the Crows took down to Fusion, but they did lose to Ninjas and 5 on Wednesday. So both these teams looking to bounce back. And I got to get the official Jaegers prediction, because, I mean, I feel like you're pretty accurate at these. And what you got for me?
I don't like to jinx it, but I am. I am decently accurate. And I see Frost taking this one. And I'm just going to throw a dart at the board. Say they're taking it in 5. I've been saying people are winning in 4. That didn't work out last week. So that's what I'm calling. Frost in 5.
Okay, I can respect that. And being a Sub-Zero member myself, for the sake of my org, I'm gonna say Frost 3-0, and I hope they make me sound smart. But I'm just throwing a dart on the board as well, hoping my team makes it happen as we do get onto the field here. Both teams rocking different shades of blue, and that's not gonna confuse anything at all. As the early whiff comes through, getting those nerves out quickly. As I guess we'll call him backup for now, because that is not an easy name to pronounce. As he will dunk out one. Crispy taking possession of this, but easily dunked out. And a big banger on net, and that's just straight into the top corner. Rooney, the mechanical beast, getting started early.
Rooney just kind of taking a pot shot there, taking a searching shot, and Angel just wasn't up for the task. Maybe not warm, maybe it's the stream nerves, but regardless, Frost goes up early, 1-0 in this one.
Maybe Rooney just knew, hey, I know Angel, I've played with this guy, he's for my team. Maybe if I just throw a shot on net, he's going to let through, and that's exactly what happened. So a nice attempt by Rooney, who I have to call out. This guy is a mechanical monster. For the Novice League, he has so much pop-up potential, but Angel's going to get his revenge right away, and we're tied up.
Absolutely. Angel's going to make good on the previous play, putting one in, and we're back at a tie ball game early on in this game.
And all Rooney can do is watch it go into the back of the net. Very similar situations, but either way, we basically find ourselves back where we started, as Rooney just going to leave this ball for Icarus, but he is dunked out with a very nice 50 from backup. And now Chad taking possession with this, but with the bump coming through, that kind of ruins any play he had possibly coming through, as Crispy kind of fakes himself and backup right where he needs to be to finish it off.
No.
Icarus with the own goal, and backup's going to take that all away.
Backup was just being annoying there on Icarus, just kind of giving him no space whatsoever, and it's going to cause the unintentional own goal as Icarus is going to try and flip away, and he's accidentally going to tap the ball into his net. Magic, this is already a high-scoring game, and we're not even past the first minute.
Yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't even call it bad defense. Some nice shooting so far. I mean, you can call it own goal, whatever you want, but that was a good job by backup to get it through the defense and get it to a very dangerous situation. Rooney able to beat out one as a whiff does come through, and backup trying to race back to his net and will clear to the side. Rooney has a shot, and he cannot slot it through. That would have been a beautiful passing play, as you said. Now Akers trying to get back before Chad can make this too dangerous for the team, but he will take control of it and get it across to the midfield. Angel and Rooney going to collide in the midfield once again, and really goes nowhere, stays right where he was at the start. Akers beats out two. This is getting dangerous, but backup, solid third-man rotation, will clean things up and get it past Rooney as well. As backup, he is kind of getting things going completely here for the Crows, just running the show. And any offense they're going to find, Jaegers, it has to come through backup, it's looking like.
Absolutely. The man just oozes with pressure as Rooney's going to clear that one away. Ball's going to bounce down, but Angel is going to put in the back of the net. Magic, you said the offense is coming through backup, but Angel so far has put almost every goal in the back of the net.
I mean, I guess you could say the offense comes through Rooney, no matter what net it is, as he just puts it off his own crossbar. Lucky he didn't go in, but nobody was able to really clean up for his mistakes before it was too late. And a nice shot coming through. And after an early goal was let in by Angel, this has been a complete runaway show for the Crows, as they're showing their new roster with some great chemistry in this first game. Not a very big sample size, but for what we've seen, it's like they're pretty solid on the rotations. Aside from that one open net, or one miss, I should say, it's been clean defense as Icarus taking a big 50, but backup dives for that in the Finnick, and he's going to send that straight to the sky. Angel trying to get it to the mid, but Rooney, nice rotation, is going to cut him off. Actually able to fake out one, and Icarus right where he needs to be to make it dangerous, but as well as I said earlier, the rotations from the Crows looking solid, and that's not really what you usually expect from a new team here, Jaegers.
Oh, absolutely not, as Icarus backflips on the goal line, leaving Rooney to get it. And Magic, it seems like this team has been playing together at least more than, just yesterday. It seems like they maybe gotten scrims or something in. Maybe this trade was a long time coming, but regardless, this team is playing off each other really well, and they're just putting a bunch of pressure on this Frost defense.
I absolutely agree, and so far, it's like Crows came out on top in this trade, as not to call out Icarus, but he is sitting at the bottom as Angel is way up there in the scoreboard with pretty much 5 times his points. As a banger comes in net from Rooney and a beautiful save by Izachad. Crispy tries to clean it up. He can't find it. He will get a demo for his troubles. A nice pass off backboard to make it dangerous still. But the defense holding strong still as we round around. About 1.5 minutes left in this game. Nice demo coming through, but still a better save. As Izachad has an angle in this, gets a pop off the wall, but basically 3 people ready to make that clear. Nobody were the Crows able to capitalize on that really bad situation for the defense of the Frost. But they don't really have to score here. They just watch the clock tick away, and they're doing a very nice job of capitalizing on their strengths. As a slight little whiff comes out here from Rooney, but it kind of pays out in their favor as it does fake out one. And the Crows just have to kill time here. What I've seen, they haven't shown any cracks in their armor.
Absolutely not. Well, on Frost's side, the only one taking shots is Rooney. He has 4 shots on his team. Not much participation from Crispy and Icarus, as I believe Izachad is going to put one in the back of the net. A little bit of lanyap there, but that doesn't really change anything. I feel like Crows are running away with this game 1, and it's back on Frost to reset.
Yeah, and I don't feel like that goal really matters that much. That's kind of a, we need 2 goals quickly, so just send everybody at it. Problem is they sent all 3 players at the same ball in a spot they probably couldn't get back to, but I mean, if you want to come back from 2 goals in 30 seconds, I guess you got to play aggro. So you can't fault them, but either way, Pros looking very solid in this first game. And if the mechanics can come through for Frost, I have no doubt that we're going to have a long series. But my prediction is not looking very good. I mean, yours is kind of alive as I was just going to roll into the net. And not much to talk about this goal, as it's just a go next for Frost.
No, yeah, I mean, look for Frost to bounce back in this one. I feel like they've kind of went just with the go next mindset. With 1 minute left, there's not much they can do except flush that thought down the toilet and just try to grab a little bit of momentum for the next game.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. And I mean, Icarus has been very quiet in this game. He is, I think, one of the top 3 highest MMR rated players in Novice League. So it is surprising to see one of the better players start off slow, but it is stream nerves. It's a new team. So I did kind of expect a slow start, though I did predict the Frost 3-0. I didn't think it'd be this much of a just out-the-gate firepower from the Crows, as Angel fits in nicely to this roster and will easily tally on 3 goals for the hat trick and really just take his team across the finish line for the Game 1 victory.
I mean, I guess after that first goal in, Angel just popped off, just lit a fire in them, and they led their team with 3 goals, the hat trick.
Yeah, and you have to think the comms for Frost after they scored that first goal, like, Angel back to his old ways with the whiff, and that man just slapped him in the face with 3 goals instantly and took control of this first game, and that has to feel amazing if you're Angel. Just run away with that game by yourself. I mean, his team played a part, but Angel, he was locked on, and he was ready to win that game no matter what he had to do for it. I mean, Crows, they're going to take the game 1, but I do expect a completely different team in this game 2 from Frost. They are all such mechanical players, and I think this team is nothing short of capable of just running away with this series going 3-1 is Frost. So it's on Crows to keep that firepower they had in that first game and show us what they're really capable of, and if this is a team to be reckoned with in the long run.
Well, you see, Magic, Frost really needs this win. After losing the first one 5-1, if they lose this next one, it's all but wraps for them, because there's no way they're stealing back the momentum in a game 3. I may eat my words, but I just don't see it happening if they lose this next one.
Yeah, but they are starting off in the right spot as Rooney gets a banging clear downfield. And some early pressure is exactly what you want to see, and a double commit does come through, and that could spell disaster as 2 people from the Crows racing back to this one. Backup tries to get a double, does get a little bit of it, but it is not really what he's looking for. Izachad is there to clean it up, and another dime from Angel and a 1-0 lead for the Crows.
Angel and Izachad are just on the same page. Angel banging it off the backboard, and Izachad there immediately catching the defense sleeping. And if Frost wants to come back, they need to be quicker on defense.
Yeah, and I mean, one way they could do it, you guys saw the Frost tried to score with a banging pass off the backboard, and 2 players double committed, weren't able to shoot it. Crows just put it off the sidewall, a little clean not too complicated play, and it worked out as Rooney has to dive at this one before backup finds another one into the back of the net. Is a Chad with all the time in the world. He just had to let it go in himself, and another one off the sidewall, as that is not what he wanted to see, as the post will be his demise and send it downfield for Frost. As if that gets into the back of the net, it is panic time for Frost, but they will not have to panic just yet, as a banging clear comes through from backup. And that is a early commit from Izzachad. He was there and almost put it on target. It's still dangerous in backup. He just has to wait for the ball to waterfall down to him, and he will collect the goal.
Backup 50s the ball up and knew it was coming down immediately and beats out Icarus, who did pre-jump a little bit. But if you're Frost, you need to be quicker for the ball. I don't know how Novice does it. Do they do backboard defense? I'm not sure. Regardless, they need to get someone on the backboard to stop that, because you can't just let the ball just fall down on the back of your net, because you're just a sitting duck at that point. As Rooney brings out a little bit of mechanics and the possible own goal, helping him out there a little bit.
And this is in my notes. Watch out for Rooney to be the pop-off mechanical player if he is given space. And that is exactly what he had. Full boost to work with, and nobody up to challenge him. And Rooney puts on a clinic with the air dribble. And that hopefully gives some life to the Frost offense. That other than that one goal to start off the game one, they have not found the back of the net until Rooney is able to, really give them some life here. Hopefully send them into a tie game here if they can keep that offense going. As Crispy is going to hit the top of his own goal, and another goes through. And that is painful here for Frost as Crows get another one.
Well, Crispy did do what I asked. He was up for it, but unfortunately he did hit the roof of the goal. And the Crows are just going to capitalize, putting that one in the back of the net. And with whatever effort Rooney had to cut the lead in half, the Crows just made that a non-factor and put themselves back up by 2.
And you really got to feel bad for Crispy. He's where he's supposed to be on pretty much all these rotations, and he finds himself at 8 points about 2.5 minutes into the game, and that was his chance for a free, probably 75. But he does hit the top of the goal. A banger from Icarus is going to put this back into a manageable game.
Well, Magic, you did ask for Icarus to show up, and there he is putting a banging shot. A little bit of tomfoolery, maybe a little bit of faking coming from the Frost side. And, Frost going to answer back right away.
And I'd have to say, you cannot let this game slip away and not expect to get swept if you're Frost. Either way, this is the pivotal game that probably decides which way your season's going. If you start going down the rabbit hole of losing games and fall to 1-2, there's no saying what can happen with this roster. You go from former finalist to starting 1-2. That's not a good start, and they really have to make it happen here on this game 2, where I think it does get a little scary as a 50 comes through and it goes right to where Rooney's able to collect it. Enough boost to make a move, and a nice demo comes through by backup to shut down any chance of a play. Crispy pushes it off the sidewalk, cannot collect it himself, and backup will do so. Pops it over Rooney.
No.
Rooney does get the demo, but there is no other goalie. Backup is just too speedy, and he'll get another goal.
Backup is too quick. No one challenged right away, and then all of a sudden, Icarus and Rooney both challenged, double commit. Crispy wasn't able to get back in time, and the ball just bounced in the back of the net.
This is painful to watch as an AGM for Frost, because I feel like they're beating themselves right now with so many little mistakes. They can just clean so much of this up with some clear comms and let the pressure not get to them as too many people push up, and Izzachad with a third goal.
Izzachad and the Crows already meeting their goal total from last game with 1:30 up. And Magic, it's not really mechanical issues as much as it's rotation issues from Frost. I don't think they're trusting each other. They're going for double commits. Icarus is going to have a shot here, but Izzachad was ready for it. But I know it's novice Magic, but it just seems like this team doesn't trust each other.
Yeah, you have to feel like the Crows, they got the best situation possible. You make a trade, and it works out on day one like this with flying colors. That has to feel great. When you're Frost, you're on the opposite end of that situation, as with 3 goals down with a minute to go. I'm not sure it's going to happen with the defense we've seen from the Crows, and the pressure is still on Izzachad with a pop-off game. He's got 4, and he's riding this victory for the Crows.
Icarus gonna go for it. Rooney just gonna get the unfortunate backflip, and Chad with his 4th goal of the game is going to capitalize. And I will say this, like what happens with the Crows, the amount of chemistry they have in that short amount of time doesn't ever happen. That's very rare. So it's quite possible that this Frost team does just need a few games under their belt to get further situated. But you gotta remember, Magic, it's still the beginning of the season. People are still figuring each other out, figuring out how to play. And you can go 1-2, you could go 0-3, and you still could win the chip. These are 18-game seasons, and all it takes is a little momentum shift, a win streak here or there, and I mean, your season's changed. But right now, the Crows are absolutely dominating Frost and looking like a mighty contender.
And it's not a very flashy team effort right now for the Crows. It's just solid fundamental rotations and not making almost any mistakes. And that is so rare to see, as you said, from a new team. As I guess we'll call it one for the road for Frost. Get a little momentum as Rooney is going to put another one through. But as you said, if Frost doesn't wake up here, I don't know if you hit the panic switch yet. As I think Crispy was actually their sub going into this week, and Icarus is new. So Rooney, the only retained player on the starting roster for Frost. You kind of expect them to start off slow, and that's exactly what we've seen in these first 2 games. But, I mean, let's just say Jaegers is an absolute genius, and he knew this was happening all along, and he predicted the reverse sweep. Let's just say that's what's going on here. I'm down for it, and I'm ready for a long series if Frost can show us something.
Absolutely. Well, they need to get started early in the next game, Magic. I haven't seen barely any demos coming out the defense, and like the Crows have had a solid rotation. But they need to get demos. Frost needs to get demos. Only having 2, they need to mess up the rotation, mess up the goal line, and leave open nets for their shooters to shoot. Because right now, this Crows defense is playing very well.
I have to agree. And if you're Crispy, you got to get involved in this game. He was such a capable player, and having 46 points cannot feel well when he sees that at the end of the game. So I've seen what I need to see from Rooney. He's looked great. Icarus looked a lot better in this game too than he did in game 1. Just playing his part, did finally have a goal. But Crispy has to be that third man to come through and make the difference and be the spark to get things going. Because I feel like they are just missing that little bit. And it's a lot of just third man committing too far. And a lot of time it is Crispy. So if you clean up those mistakes, I don't think you find 6 goals into the back of your net from the Crows offense. So we'll see what happens. But I really want to see Frost turn it around and give us a longer series.
Absolutely. And like you said, it starts from the defensive half. They were scoring. But I mean, you can't win whenever you let 6 goals in the back of your net. That's just not something that happens. And it's just little mistakes here and there that the Crows have been capitalizing. And with a good kickoff here, there's potential for the Frost to get an early goal. But the problem is, in game 1, they got an early goal. They need to get the momentum, and they need to keep it if they want to win.
Yeah, and early on, I don't even know if it comes down to just momentum. It comes down to staying calm after you get a little bit of pressure. Because it seems like every time they get onto the Crows' half, they're not there for very long. It's an instant overcommit and then a big booming clear into a goal. But I would have to agree, momentum would be very helpful for a team down 0-2 in a series that is on stream. So we'll see how that goes. As Rooney with a free ball here. This is a little tap. Tries to find Crispy. Crispy unable to find the touch he's looking for as Icarus looking for a 50, but ends up just banging it into the midfield, right to back up, and back up puts a shot on target and does make 2 people die for it. A bump comes out from Izachat and it gives him a free ball. Rooney is there to have his teammates back and clear down Icarus with a banging clear downfield, trying to relieve some pressure. Starve out this Crows defensive boost. Has Rooney a clutch dunk right there. That might have been straight into their net. And this is probably the longest stand-up offense we've seen this entire series, Jaegers, from Frost.
Oh, as Rooney barely misses on their end right there. But it seems like Frost is finally getting a sense of urgency. They realize if we lose this one, we're done for the night. As Icarus passes it to Rooney, unable to get the touch on target. But so far in this game number 3, Frost have had all the momentum as they're just setting up shop on Crow's half.
And it looks to me the big difference is they're covering each other. It's not just this guy goes and I hope he makes the touch, and if he doesn't, we're just screwed. It's if this guy gets beat, I have his back, and we have a solid rotation going on here. As a lot of times, it's like one person's beat, and out of nowhere comes another Frost defender to save the day. And that is a big change from the first few games. It's Crispy, very awkward, but he is able to make the touch he needs. As that shot is dangerous, but it's not on target. Chad could not get back to this. It's off the side post. A shot has to come through off the crossbar, and Rooney as well off the crossbar, and it rains through, but finally the overcommit does come through, and maybe a counterattack opportunity, but Rooney, after his shot, does collect the corner boost from the defensive side, and is able to race back before it gets dangerous, because that's where we've seen a lot of Crows goals come through. The overcommit from Frost, as Chad just bullies his way into the offensive half.
I mean, Frost had a few good chances there, and they just got overly excited. And on the opposite end, Chad is going to do it himself, putting it past two. And he doesn't care about the pressure. He doesn't care about the momentum. Chad is going to put his shots on target, and he's going to give his team a 1-0 lead.
I have to agree with you. If there's a player this series so far, it is undoubtedly Chad. Angel and backup have looked great, but it's what, 5 to 7 goals, I'd have to say, from Chad is just ridiculous on stream. This guy is not missing, and he's looking great. And he does give his team the early lead before anything gets too spicy, because I don't think either team was looking for a low-scoring affair after the few games we've seen. As this is very dangerous. Crispy and Rooney dive at it, but Chad, the man of the hour, gets in the way. Icarus trying to get another one into the box, but he does not have the boost to work with. Crispy trying to collect some boost and collect the ball at the same time to let his team get back in time, and will do so. A nice dunk by Crispy, and the Crows racing back into defense. Off the sidewall, or off the backboard, is the pass from Crispy, but it is cleaned up. And we haven't seen very many threatening situations besides that one double commit where a diving save saves the day. And you have to think that was probably the chance to send this game to OT, Jaegers.
I mean, with a minute 30 left, anything's possible, but not if you don't leave anyone on defense, as Crows are looking to make a counterattack. Backup's going to get a good 50, but Angel not able to follow it. And Icarus, Rooney, Crispy could have a counterattack here as Icarus gets a bang, but nobody home, as backup is going to clear it up to Angel, who passes it forward. And Magic, if Frost wants to win, if they want to at least get a game in the series, they need to go down. Rooney is going to put one in the back of the net off Icarus's pass.
And the Crows just got so complacent. They had 3 people just standing still, watching the ball roll towards them. And Rooney is having none of that. He just dives at it and slots it home. He has 3 goals in this series, and I don't think anybody else in his team is anywhere close to that. I think Icarus has the only other goal. And right now, Rooney is carrying the load as he does tie up the game with under a minute to go, and hopefully give this series some life. Because I am not looking for a just dead 3-0 sweep, and I don't think Rooney is either. As he looks for a pass up to Icarus, cannot find it. Rooney just waiting back for something to happen. Nobody takes a touch, and he decides to be the one to do so. Crispy with a shot opportunity, and the save from Angel is clutched. Rooney off the backboard looking for the setup for Icarus, but Icarus looked for the demo instead, and it will not come out the way that Frost was hoping. As the last 15 seconds roll around, backup has just barely enough boost to get this across the field, but this is not where you want to be if you're Frost with 10 seconds rolling around. Angel with a shot runs out of boost, and was probably expecting Rooney to make a touch so he could dunk him. Backup with enough boost and enough time, but a shot on target! Straight into the back of the net as Frost is in shambles, as they will let this into the back of their net with a second to go.
Backup with the chance to be the savior of the sweep, puts the ball in the back of the net, and what a shot. And barring something crazy, Crows going to run away with the sweep, and that's all, but that's gonna happen as the Crows put their record above 500 and send Frost on their way.
I just want to say shout out to backup. That is a shot you don't really see the Novice League make very often, when all the pressure is on you. 10 seconds left on the clock, open net. I feel like most players are gonna choke that shot. I might choke that shot, to be honest with you, but backup is not having it. He is the hero. Angel played an incredible part in this new roster. They looked great as a 3-man unit. But I mean, the man of the hour is Chad for sure, as he carried his team across the finish line to a dominant 3-0 sweep of the former finalists from last season. And if you're Frost, Is it back to the drawing board or what? Because that was a shaky series.
I don't think it's back to the drawing board for them. I do think they need to get some games in. They need to get a little bit of chemistry here and there, and they need to put their shots on target as they just overcommitted way too much, left the defense open, and even on that last goal, like someone charged the ball, and there was no one in their net. Like all backup had to do was put the shot on target, and that's game. That's it.
Yeah, and I mean, you never want to see a sweep one series, but it is entertaining when a team just decides enough is enough, and we're going to dominate today. And that is exactly what we saw from the Crows, as they will advance to 2-1 and send Frost packing down to 1-2. Not a great start for either team, but Crows, they're happy to be above 500 heading into games on Wednesday, where hopefully they can get themselves going in the right direction. If you're Frost, I don't know if it's I think you're right. I don't know if it's to the drawing board yet, as we did see some glimpses of greatness, but they definitely have to clean up their third man rotation. But either way, Jaegers, that is all the time for us, as we do have some more bangers, hopefully longer series coming up for the rest of the night. It's been a pleasure. Any final words before we send it off?
No, Magic, it's always a pleasure. I do wish this one went to 5 so we got to cast a little bit longer, but GG's to the Crows, and see you next series.
Yep, and no one go anywhere, as the action is just now ramping up as we head our way up further into the better leagues, as we will head into the Prospect League next, so don't go anywhere.
See ya.
Stuck inside my head, a remainder of a love that died is in. You're a stranger, and there's no point to pretend that you can't heal with me. Erase my memory. I'm in danger, gotta quit while I'm ahead. Disclaimer, catching diamonds in the rain. Falling, 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 started to fall, and where were you? How could I know you were falling too? Grabbing the wind, cutting my skin, but it's hard because I'm falling. Tell me why I'm falling. Oh, life's calling, but it's hard because I'm falling.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We are back in week number 2 here for Nemesis Gaming League. We got our second matchup of the night here. We got Velocity taking on the Vipers here, and I'm joined with a new member here in the booth. We got Hydro. How you doing?
I'm good, Bagels. How are you doing tonight?
A little stressed out, but I'm ready. I'm ready for some nice Rocket League after a long day at work. Got to play my match a little bit later too. But ready for some action. Have you played yet or no?
No, actually, I'm the sub on Venom, so they're actually I think they got the game at 9 o'clock, and they're about to go here in like 15 minutes or so. So I'm wishing them luck while I'm here casting with you, Bagels.
Alrighty, well, we do have some another team from your org here in the Vipers, and we were just talking about him before we went live in Puggles there, who's kind of been more one of the lower key players the past few seasons, but I think he moved from Challenger to Prospect this season, so looking to kind of be the carry for this roster here.
Right, and I know Josh also moved down from Challenger too, and those are two really solid names on this Prospect player sheet. And Puggles, I think he subbed for Venom the past 2 seasons, and I know he's a really solid player. I really expect him to do really good things in Prospect, and I know he's the goals leader right now for Prospect. So I think he's stepping up to the plate really, really well for those Vipers.
Yeah, I mean, granted, it's only been 1 week, but I think you are correct. I did see it somewhere that it was around 1.56 goals per game or something like that. Maybe I'm quoting that incorrectly, but on the other side of the pitch, we do have Velocity, and looking at the names here, I do recognize C-Dubs, who used to be in my org when I was still GM, and he's going to be moving. Actually, no, he will be staying in Prospect from last season. He was definitely a big, important part of our team, so we'll have to see if he can have another solid season here in Prospect. And as far as his other 2 teammates, just have to see how they perform on stream here.
Right. I'm not very familiar with any of these names on Velocity, but I know I've heard a lot about C-Dubs, and I'm really looking for him to step up to the plate tonight. But yeah, I think JPH and OK Tiny are going to be the go-to players as we're going to get into the game. Players are loading in right now.
Yep, and are you going to ask you for a prediction here? Are you going with your boys and the Vipers, or you think Velocity's got a chance here in this one, even though I know you don't really know the names too well?
Right, I'm gonna have to stick with my boys in green. They're really solid. I really expect them to step up, and it looks like Adala is going to be stepping in place of Josh here. He's not going to be here tonight, so we'll see how that fares up for the Vipers.
Definitely could be a factor, as right away Beast Mode with a crazy shot, but will be saved away by our man Puggles there. but still dangerous. It's another one coming on, but Adola the sub coming in with another save, and 3 saves already here for the Vipers. Hydro looking a little dangerous early.
Right. You know, having your star, your number one guy not being shown up, it can really throw you off early on in the series. So we're just gonna look for Adala to step up to the plate and hopefully he can get it done for him.
Yeah, he did get a big save there though, but still under duress here are the Vipers, but still trying to work their way out of defense. But again, time and time again, as far as this first minute is concerned, the pressure is on here for Velocity, but a counterattack coming out, but Tiny in the right place at the right time. Adola was looking for the double, but couldn't quite find the second contact. Slays opting to take it a little too slow perhaps, and C-Dubs will pounce on that opportunity. Puggles looking to clean up his teammate's mistake now. Going to get some sort of momentum working on the Velocity side of things. Beast mode up, looking to get it past. Fakes one in the air, but gets a 50. It will bounce off to the side. Adola looking to come in early, but Tiny going to beat out on the challenge. And nothing quite doing for Velocity after that first minute. It's looking like things for Vipers have calmed down a tiny bit.
Right. I think Velocity has more of a midfield presence right now, and they're doing a really good job of making those infield passes. Vipers gonna get the first goal. Adala gonna snipe it.
Yeah, and you know, like you said, the sub coming in, becoming a factor early, got that big save in that opening wave of shots, and comes out here with the first goal. And honestly, that's pretty good work from the Vipers after the onslaught of offense. And you know, if this is how they're gonna play, even without, like you said, their star player, although it could be a shot here, but Adola again with another big save. You know, if this is how they're playing with their sub here, I would be pretty worried if I was the rest of Prospect League.
Right. I mean, and you know, Josh brings just another type of presence on the field. He's made a good name for himself. As Calamity, he's going to come across the Vipers line and they're going to clear it out. But yeah, I mean, Adala's looking really good right now. And if they can, pick and choose who they want to start on a weekly basis, that's just going to make them more dangerous for the Prospect League.
Indeed, as one mistake will come out, unfortunately, for the Vipers off of a counterattack. A little bit of a tough read in the corner here for Puggles, but just ends up slipping by him. And now we are all tied up at 1-1 here. And, you know, even though the Vipers have had a little bit of a recovery here, I'm looking at the shot totals for Velocity here, as that one just rolled in almost. Still dangerous as Tiny will slot that on the right side, and the shot totals now 9-2 here, Hydro.
And right off the kickoff, they get good pressure, and Beast Mode's just going to throw it off the backboard at Tiny. And, you know, you gotta get better kickoffs if you're the Vipers than that, or you're just going to keep seeing that in and out.
But still, a lot of time left on the clock for the Vipers to kind of work their way back. 2 minutes. Here's Adola again, perhaps looking to find Puggles, but opportunity for Slays, but he will fly past that one. And now Velocity looking to mount another attack. With Adola having other things to say about that, but nobody quite coming in as Puggles and Slays a little bit awkward deciding on who wants to go. As now presence starting to be established on the offensive side of things, but a huge clear from C-Dubs is going to leave the net somewhat open for Tiny, and Slays almost, fortunately, puts it in his own net there, but able to get it away nonetheless. And Tiny with another big shot, and honestly, Tiny, he has 6 shots, 2 goals here. He's looking like he's the star player for Velocity here. Not quite sure how the MMRs are working out, but he's put on quite a big amount of shots here, Hydro.
Yeah, he's bringing the onslaught for Velocity here, and if they can keep getting this offensive pressure, it's going to be really hard for these Vipers to stay out of their own end. You know, I mean, Velocity is keeping that boost control, keeping that midfield presence, and okay, Tiny gets another one as that makes 7 shots in the hat trick for him on the game.
Yeah, he's definitely a force to be reckoned with, and a little bit of a slow shot, but honestly, Slays was at the whim of Tiny right there. He could have put it anywhere he wanted it, but again, C-Dubs with another huge clear. That's about 2 or 3 we've seen from him, and in that transition, he did find Tiny, and now the Vipers find themselves down by 2 with a minute left. Although looking to get started here once again. Adola to the middle, and another huge counterattack, but this time Slay's in position. Off to the side, and they want to get something going. They will have to get it going now. Puggles with looking to try and carry that one out, but couldn't get back to his own touch. There's Adola looking for a shot. That will bounce off of one of the Velocity players, I think.
And actually, Adala made a pretty decent pass here midfield to, I think it was Slays. And Slays just whiffs it, but I don't think Tiny was expecting him to miss it, and he just puts it in his own net, Bagels.
That's, you know, I myself am an advocate of the tactical lifts, aka the fakes, and, you know, I don't know if Slays was intentionally doing that, but if he was, you know, I'm impressed. That's another big shot gonna come in from Puggles, that he will tie it up in under 30 seconds.
Wow, and, you know, Viper's getting a quick one right now, and if you're Velocity, you know, this momentum's going towards Vipers, and I don't know, you're going to have to keep that midfield presence that you had early and just shut the Vipers down.
Yeah, I mean, the overall sense here in Game 1, it's definitely been Velocity's game to lose. I mean, they have a crazy amount of shots, 13. Vipers only sitting at 5. But Vipers, the counterattack game is just as strong as them, as it is for Velocity. Although the final attack may just go Velocity's way. C-Dubs, solid shot on, and Puggles, he cannot get there. And with 3 seconds left, Velocity will strike back.
And it looks like Big C-Dubs just going to put one off the wall here, and Puggles just getting awkward on that post, and that post will get you sometimes, but 3 seconds left, you're going to have to hope for a miracle if you're Vipers.
It comes down to this kickoff right here, and it will not go in their favor, so likely will result in a game number 1 victory, which it will for Velocity. But I mean, that was really a topsy-turvy kind of game 1 right there. I mean, we did both kind of think going into this that the Vipers were going to take this one, but as you said, Adola coming in as the sub role, but realistically, he was top of the scoreboard here in game number 1 and was a huge factor. But at the same time, Velocity had 15 shots, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, you know, when you have 15 shots coming at you in 5 minutes, I mean, that's, you know, 3 a minute at least, and you're struggling to get out of your own end and just create pressure for yourself. And as you see, 5 shots coming out from the Vipers. So, you know, they're going to have to figure out a way to make those clearing passes. I've seen Velocity making those passes like when they're clearing their own zone, and, you know, that's creating a lot of space for them. And, you know, those counterattacks like we were talking about during this game, you know, they're doing a good job of scoring off of this.
Yeah, Tiny just was a shooter in that game number 1, and C-Dubs was kind of feeding him those opportunities, good clears, like you were just mentioning. As this unfortunate party chat that I have to keep disabling. Great feature that Rocket League has added, that, you know, I don't want to hear myself twice.
Right.
Somewhat of a narcissist. I don't mind my own voice, but, you know, I can't say I want to hear it all the time. But to start it off, Velocity is going to get another opportunity, and they are picking up right where they left off.
And OK Tiny, like you said, is going to pick up right where he left off. And guess who it is again? Serving him up is Big C-Dubs. Going to pass that one mid. And Tiny's just going to clean it up.
Yeah, again, the C-Dubs Tiny connection being found. Not that Beast Mode wasn't a factor in game number 1 there, but just kind of being in the role that Velocity needed him to be. But, you know, Vipers found their way back pretty convincingly, despite the low shot totals in game number 1, so I'm going to think that they're not nearly out of this matchup quite yet, as far as game 2 is considered. But again, under attack, but Beast Mode and C-Dubs, a little awkward, and this is going to allow the Vipers to get back onto offense, but a big clear again. Slays in a 1v3, but a touch can't be found on the Velocity side of things. The bump's coming, but they were dodged, and the shot saved away. Is now Slays. No boost to work with, and it's a somewhat meager touch, and nothing really cohesively coming out of defense here for the Vipers, and I think they're starting to kind of feel this pressure that Velocity's putting on. Another 3 shots per minute, like you're saying.
Yeah, and, you know, you got to find those clearing passes. We've been talking about it since last game. You got to find those passes to your teammate to get it in their zone, and then find boosts, collect boosts, steal theirs, keep them on their toes. But if you're not gonna get those clearing passes, you're not gonna get out of your own zone.
A big opportunity gone awry there for Vipers, although it looked like Adola was trying to read the defender and nobody coming up with a touch. It's perhaps they were trying to get an outfield pass towards each other, but a little bit ahead of Slays, as now all of the Vipers in somewhat the same positioning. It could be dangerous here. Tiny, he's up, he's been a shooter, but he can't find contact here, and this one will slip past the final Vipers defender, and I can't help but feel like they should have saved this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be big C-dubs this time, but, like you said, I think it's just, I think it's the chemistry. Like, they're not used to each other's rotations right now, and you got to wonder if Josh would have made a huge difference right now.
Yeah, I mean, the chemistry factor might be there, but, I mean, as far as individual performance, Adola is showing up, and here's another shot from him, but Tiny able to race back in time, but definitely, I mean, the individual performance might be one thing, but if you don't feel comfortable with that player, definitely could be more detrimental like that. But Adola, open net to work with, but again, no boost. That seems to be a recurring factor here. In game number 2, we saw Slays trying to make it clear he had no boost off the sidewall, and time again, not looking like they have anything, but trying to mount an attack now. But, I mean, is there anything else you're seeing on the Viper side of thing besides the chemistry? Maybe it's just the sub role, or is Velocity just starting to heat up and playing well? Because, I mean, I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, and I think Velocity's playing really well. They're 1-1, so like they lost the game the series they lost in a game 5. So I don't hold too much value to those game 5 losses. That's not much. So I think that these two teams might be the best in prospect right now, and it's looking really solid for Velocity, but we're gonna have to see what Vipers can amount late in this game.
Indeed, and we will have to see if they go on to lose this one. But the tale of the story will be going into Wednesday as another shot coming on, but Beast Mode off of the crossbar. Awkward is the defense for the whole Vipers. They're flailing all over the place, and again, another shot will rain upon the open net, and this time, not quite sure they're gonna be able to mount the comeback of 3-0.
No, they're just they're panicking when they're low boost and then on their own end. So I think they just gotta calm down, calm a little bit more. It looks like the comms are just not there tonight, and that goes back to the chemistry thing.
Yeah, and to what you said, bold statement saying that these are the two best teams, but obviously we're gonna have to wait and see as far as on stream what this team looks like with Josh. But I mean, definitely Velocity, they are looking really well. I mean, Tiny and C-Dubs, and then Beast Mode just kind of being the solid third man, but definitely a bit of a two-headed monster right there as the Vipers trying to get something going, a little bit of momentum headed into game number 3, assuming they don't get 3 goals here in under a minute, which they likely will not, but still trying to keep the positive vibes up. Puggles looking for a shot. 50 to the middle, but straight into the hands of Tiny, but a huge dunk coming out from Slays with a great touch to the middle. Adola high off the backboard. Great shot from Puggles, but another huge save from Tiny. The follow-up here for Adola, but again, off the mark. And signs of brilliance there for a second Hydro, but again, this one will just go straight into the hands of Velocity once again. But I mean, that is what you want to see headed into game number 3. They were working all together, just accuracy not quite there.
Right, the team plays were coming out. OK Tiny made a tremendous save on the goal line, and I mean, you're gonna have to find those passing plays, and it was there. It just you got beat, and OK Tiny made a huge save. So it does have some signs of life going into game 3, like you said, but they're gonna have some work to do. It's gonna have to be a reverse sweep.
Definitely not what you want to be looking at, staring down the barrel there, but, anything is possible. As far as RLCS is concerned, I think there's been a crazy amount of reverse sweeps, so, as far as a draft league is concerned, reverse sweeps definitely within the realm of possibility, as that shot was probably going to go in, but the clock did hit 0. And Velocity with a clean game. They're not allowing a single goal against the Vipers. And that's definitely a different kind of look we got going back to game 1. Game 1 was pretty back and forth and close. But again, the same story ringing true here as far as the Velocity shot total is concerned. 12 in comparison to the Vipers' 6.
Yeah, double the shots, and you got to wonder, where's the defense at, man? I mean, you gotta, you gotta, I mean, there's no way you need to put bodies on the ball. You need to make those 50s, have the follow ups, have someone challenging. And if they can't do that, I think that these shots are gonna, stay coming in from Velocity here, and big C Dubs and OK Tiny just paving the way right now for Velocity.
Yeah, they got to shut at least one of those 2 players down to have a hope at coming back in this reverse sweep. But I mean, I think it comes down to, like you were saying, or like we were both saying, is the boost. It just looks like they don't have enough boost in the right spots, and from at least as far as what I've seen, it kind of looks like they're very close together on the rotation, especially trying to get out of defense. It looks like they're expecting a pass, like you were saying. They're trying to work together, but then the hit just isn't on target towards them, or maybe the player just is a tiny bit selfish and thinking they can get the clear out themselves. Either way, whatever they're doing is not working, and they're going to have to try and make some sort of adaptation here, as, again, the pressure on early here. But a whiff coming out, and Adola with a little bit of a heavy touch, but does somewhat get a bit of a fake, and this would be a favorable bounce off the ceiling, as it looks like is Soda Yoda.
Soda Yoda is indeed Josh.
Okay.
Is indeed Josh. He's here. So we're gonna see how that changes the pace of the game and the chemistry for Vipers. I know I said that these look like 2 of the best teams in the league, but I mean, this is the squad that I was talking about with Vipers, so I'm excited to see it.
We will have to see, as it looks like they took out Slays. So was Slays the sub, or was Adola the sub?
Yeah, I think Slays was the sub. I was under the impression that Adola was the
I
sub.
thought you said Adola early on.
No,
But
I thought.
either way, Velocity sub or main roster or not, they will score first again.
Yep, and the trend keeps coming on, and they're gonna continue right where they left off with all this pressure, and these shots are already coming in.
Yeah, I will say Josh is I won't say he has the best names, but he definitely makes you look.
Right. Yeah, they make you laugh a little too.
Definitely, he's got some interesting names that he's had in the Discord over the past few seasons, and can't say I've seen this one yet, but definitely making me a little bit more glued onto his player cam. As he is up here, solid touch to interrupt the pressure, but Beast Mode taking to the dribble over 1, but we'll get demoed. Net momentarily open, but again, Tiny able to race back and make the save like he's done so many times before. Actually didn't get credit for a save right there, but that shot definitely was rolling on target. As Beast Mode with a bump and a pass, and this one will get slotted into the right side, and again, this one just not from rotational mistakes or boost problems, just another whiff on the back wall from Puggles, which is the second one we've seen so far.
Right, and you can't be making mistakes like that on your goal line, or they're gonna get put into the back of the net like Beast Mode just did. And I just you never know. I think maybe Josh came in dry. Doesn't take anything away from Velocity here. They're playing fantastic, but warming up with your team does have a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not an ideal scenario here for the Vipers, but looking to get something going here. Again, Puggles found the double, but ended up making contact off to the side, and Adola was looking for somebody in the middle, and somebody on Velocity just ended up straight whiffing that one. As Velocity double committing in awkward positioning could be an opportunity here if Puggles can slot this one on, and he can, but again, they do it time and time again. Hydra, they're just always there at the last possible second, and still the pressure on, but nobody can put it through. But there is Puggles.
There it is. That's what we want to see out of Vipers to make this reverse sweep start. Is this pressure was starting to amount, and they kept it in the zone, and Puggles gonna finish it off, and we're gonna have to see more out of that. but hopefully they can keep it going.
And, I think for the first time in the series, they are out shooting Velocity. Granted, it's only by one shot at 3-2, but still, some good news here for the Vipers. Adola with a demo. Beast Mode looking to get this one cleared as Josh was awkward. He's going to half flip back onto the defensive half. C-dubs with perhaps a tactical fake. We'll continue the pressure here, but Adola beating out one. Over two. Josh up for the shot. He's going to put it on, but straight at Tiny. And perhaps if Josh, again, had a little bit more boost, he could have slotted that one a little bit better, maybe even knocked it off the backboard. As Josh over to Puggles. Can he find the read? No, he cannot. I struggled to even find a Titan player trying to find that redirect. But, would have been nuts if he did. Now, again, the minutes kind of falling down here. But Vipers, I will say, this is looking like a more dominating presence since Josh is on the roster. I mean, they're out shooting. They have the majority of the pressure, but unfortunately, they just kind of gave up those 2 goals early so far.
Right, and I've been seeing a lot more demos come out from both teams. Vipers really hunting those demos down and getting a lot of pressure as a close one comes out from Josh. Almost pinched it with the opposing team into the back of the net. But like I said, I mean, these demos are coming out from Vipers, and Velocity's trying to answer back with some of their own, but Vipers just going to relinquish that pressure that they had.
Yeah, that is something I actually have noticed in Game 3 here, as the demos have significantly racked up as a bit of a double commit. Will tee that one off of Puggles. Was on target, but not quite with the speed that they would have liked. But again, still, Vipers have been in control of this game for the past 2 minutes. They just need one more opportunity. The infield pass over, but again, parried away by the Velocity defense. They just need one more solid drive. It's not coming at the moment as Vipers were on the defensive half for just a short second, but right back onto offense. Puggles, awkward touch, and this is going to allow Tiny to work his way out, but he kind of ends up balling his own team, but luckily Beast Mode was able to get the clear, and now Puggles extremely awkward, but does get it out for now. But Hydra, the seconds are counting down, and they need something. They need a miracle right now.
Yeah, it's got to happen quick, and that's not going to help. The whip is not going to help.
That is not going to do it. Oh no, it's
Tiny.
coming, but Adola looking to get something. Beast Mode looking to drop it, and it will fall to the ground as too little too late to try and get the reverse sweep hopes started. And Velocity, they look pretty good. It was a sweep, but Game 1 and Game 3, both 1-goal games. Game 2 was really the dominating one there with the 4-0 victory. But, I mean, even with Slays as the sub, I mean, they didn't look completely out of the mix, but, I mean, definitely C-dubs and Tiny were a force to be reckoned with there.
Right, they really showed up tonight, and like we were saying, those 13-shot, 15-shot games, it's going to be tough to keep the ball out of the net if you're on the other half of that. So I mean, that was a very impressive performance by Velocity, and you got to. I mean, I'm sticking to my comment I made. I swear, Vipers best team in the league. They're going all the way. I got to say it though.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, it's definitely, it's a long season. We got a lot more games to figure that out. But I mean, definitely from what I did see there, with Josh on the field, I mean, the demos, the physical presence that the Vipers were bringing out. I mean, I would hate to play against that, if I was any other team in Prospect. And on the other side, I mean, just the chemistry, the overall chemistry. They weren't really doing anything flashy on the Velocity side of things. They were just clean. I mean, Tiny had one really good shot and a lot of good saves, but I mean, as far as what they were doing, it was just clinical and it was working. But we'll have to look and see on Wednesday if the Vipers come back, and if Velocity is going to keep the train rolling there.
Right, and Vipers, this is one you can bounce back from. I had your guys show up late. Velocity looks really solid. I'm really excited to see what they're going to bring to the table throughout this prospect season. Long season to go, and I'm excited. I'm excited to watch.
Yeah, definitely. As a Titan player, I'm not really accustomed to the lower league matches, but definitely Prospect is definitely going to be a whole another can of worms this season, as the way the MMR boundaries have kind of worked out. We're definitely going to see a lot more higher quality of play as we're getting up into I believe the 1400 range there just about. So definitely Prospect to be looking a lot more competitive than we saw. I mean, we saw a crazy shot from Puggles that was saved from Tiny, and Tiny looked really good. So kind of look at those key players on those main rosters for Prospect to pull out some crazy plays. But I think that's gonna do it here for the second match here for us, Hydra. But for the first one, it was a pleasure with you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure with you, Bagels. Always nice to be a part of this community, and I can't wait for any more casts I get to do.
Couldn't have said it better. As we got a lot of crazy stuff going on this season. Only week 2, still the overlays are looking really fresh. So good job management with that and all the other work that they've been putting in. But that is going to be it for now. The third matchup of the night, which will come up right after the break, we are headed to the Titan League. So the pace of play going to ramp up a little bit. We got the Krakens going off against the Reapers, my old team there. And I think that one's going to be a bit of a banger. So we'll catch you guys in about 15 minutes to finish off the night, and we'll see you guys then.
She found a way into my heart. Oh, oh, she don't make up, no, she make art. And I need a way to treat it, 'cause I keep getting high off of her. Off of her. I know that you'd be bad from the minute I saw you. But somehow I keep running back to you. Back to you. Back to lonely. Hey. And hearing music that can make me smile. But the way I feel with her cannot be explained. But one thing still remains on my mind. I know that you'd be bad from the minute I saw you. But somehow I keep running back to you. Back to you.
started to fall, and where were you? How could I know you were falling too? Grabbing the wind, cutting my skin, but it's hard because I'm falling. Tell me why I'm falling. Oh, life's calling, but it's hard because I'm falling.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our final matchup of the night. We got to see two super quick sweeps, so hopefully the Titan League does not disappoint us as we have the Krakens taking on the Reapers. And I am joined by a familiar face here. Jaegers, how you doing, dude?
Well, I'm back, and I didn't realize I was gonna be back tonight, but I got dragged to this call and told I was casting, so I could be worse. However, we do have a banger matchup on our hands, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it's not gonna be a sweep. I'm not gonna predict this one. You could predict it, Squirrel, because last time I predicted it, it was a 3-0 sweep.
Well, normally I would pick Krakens to win this one pretty easily, like 3-0. But I was looking at some quick match facts that y'all saw on the stream beforehand, and I saw that Make-A-Wish has like 30 demos, and that is nuts, and that is crazy to deal with at this level. So I think if he keeps that up this series, then it's going to tilt the Krakens, and I think Reapers could actually win this one 3-1, 3-2.
You know, that'd be very impressive considering the Krakens are the #1 team in power rankings, led by Luca and Mitch, and Coffee I hear is no slouch himself. But on the other hand, Bluey leads Titan with 2.44 saves a game. That is insane, Squirrel. That's MVP number of saves a game.
And he's gonna need it because we know the Kraken's offense. We've seen them on stream already. Their offense is impressive. It will just lock you in, and they'll take tons of shots. But if Bluey's able to keep those saves out, then Reapers have a chance. And we already saw last time the Krakens were on stream, I think it was Sendit saved so many of the Kraken's shots, and because of his defensive effort, they almost got the reverse sweep. But unfortunately just fell short in game 5. So Kraken's strong offense, but it seems like they struggle against really good defenses.
Absolutely. I mean, it's an immovable object versus unstoppable force, and I mean, if you can't get those shots on target, if you can't get past the defense, defense wins championships, Squirrel. And I mean, we've seen how good an offense does, like in various sports, but at the end of the day, defense is what you need to win.
Right, like we had a quote with our soccer team. It was, if you score a lot of goals, you'll win sometimes. If you never get scored on, you can't lose. So I agree with you there. Defense does win championships, and I should probably let the viewers know that if you were confused as to why Psycho's name was on the screen earlier, but we have Jaegers, Psycho just started game 5, so prayers for him. Let's hope Psycho wins. We're big Psycho fans here, but thankfully we found the stud Jaegers to join us. And who's your player to watch, Jaegers?
I have quite a few players to watch. Squirrel, this is Titan League. Everyone pops off, but normally I'd say Luca, but I'm gonna say Mitch. Mitch is very mechanical, could pop off. Does known to have a highlight play here and there. Luca, a very solid player himself, but I mean, if you're looking for a highlight play, I say Mitch.
Yeah, Mitch, definitely one of those like sleeper picks at 1908 MMR. Very solid pickup for his MMR. And Coffee, I think Coffee's going to be the one to look out for because they had the chance to draft Zenvez, who is about the same MMR as Coffee, and we know how good Zenvez is, but they chose Coffee instead. So he's got to pop off. He's got to show that he was worth that draft pick. But on the Reaper side of things, I think Sizz, 1926 MMR, Gonna be a pop-off player, especially if he's named after a former RLCS pro.
Absolutely. I mean, Sizz with, I believe it's 3 Zs, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, he was one of the players I did hear about before the draft. If I'm not mistaken, a 2K player, Squirrel? Or am I wrong on that? Sizz.
1926.
1926. A bit ways from 2K, but I mean, hopefully he pops off in this one.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. And Kraken's in that division with Blizzard, Inferno, and Bananas. So they have a lot of tough teams coming up. So their 2-0 record is impressive, but with a bunch of tough teams coming up in their division, that could change. Whereas Reapers, they're gonna get a lot of their tough teams out of the way early on. But the lobby's up, we're ready, and we are into this one as the kickoff bounces off that sidewall. Bluey and Jarhead double commit as Jarhead, a rival league sub up for the Reapers, trying to avoid that forfeit. And how do you think that is going to affect the dynamics of this game?
Well, Squirrel, he's a Challenger League sub up.
Oh,
But I will say this though, Pinnacle did have a Novice League sub up in their game and they won, so it could be bad for them. It could work out just fine, and we'll have to see.
a novice league in a Titan game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And they took
3-1.
it.
Yeah, absolutely. They so we didn't find out about it till after game 1, and they won, and they just wanted to stick with it. So we let them, and yeah, they ended up taking it 3-1.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And right now, the score is tied. So Jarhead doing a decent job of keeping pace, but Luca with a great little ground shot to put the first goal in.
Luca just a bit quicker, bounces off the ceiling, bounces it off the ground, and not quite a pinch, but he puts it in the back of the net.
Yeah, I think like 100-mile-per-hour pinch goal would have been insane there, but Luca doing what he does best, finding opportunities to score, take the early lead here as Sizz looking to make something happen, but Mitch on that sidewall, very solid player at stopping the other team's pressure. Jarhead beats one. Coffee sends that one way across. Mitch is there to control it. A dangerous spot up the backboard, looking for a pass down, but just puts it a little out of reach as Sizz demoed on the transition. Mitch can't quite get it going in the back on the backboard. Bluey passing that one out to Sizz. Sizz with control gets the flick, and he puts it in to tie it up.
Nice little passing play from, I believe that was Bluey to Sizz. Sizz takes control and just flicks it back by Coffee to tie up this game.
Yeah, good ball control there and good small ball play from Sizz, showing that, even though they've got a challenger sub up, it's not the end of the world. They can still hang in this one as Bluey bounces that one down. This ball in the middle. Mitch, a good cutoff there as Sizz was in position. Mitch looking to control this ball up high, pop down. Jarhead's up. Jarhead can't quite get there fast enough as this ball goes back to the middle. 2 players up for the Krakens though. Luca gonna put it to safety and relieve all that pressure as Mitch coming in to make something happen. Jarhead can't quite get the touch, but he might have faked one in the corner. Luca looking to get a pass out middle here. He does, and Mitch just not quite able to get there, and that is a rare miss from this Kraken squad.
The ball just a tad too fast for Mitch as he barely misses. Bluey almost getting a shot there on the opposite end, but this pressure from Krakens, it is really just unrelenting. They're staying on the Reaper's side of the half the whole game.
Yeah, absolutely, and Jarhead with a light touch. Coffee, a big dunk back middle, but Sizz gonna boom that one out of his half. This ball missed by Luca. Mitch has him covered though, as Luca gonna send it down. An awkward ball here in the box. Bluey, good control. And one thing I'm really liking right now, Jaegers, is the control from these Reapers Titan players is just so solid right now.
Absolutely. They're not playing bang ball. They're just tapping it past the defense. Bluey doing well there to stay on his mark and reading the whiff by Mitch. And with 1 minute, 30 seconds left, we are all tied up in this game one.
Yeah, Jarhead actually put one towards the net, but it was just slightly off. Luca looked like he was low boost there. Jarhead couldn't quite get it. Fakes one out. A 50 comes out. Coffee, a good spot to follow that one up. Bluey, quick little shot on net. Sent away easily by Mitch as he's going to control this one up the sidewall. Looking to make something happen here as Luca's in the midfield. Luca with a shot!
Man.
He flings it right by the defense.
The chemistry between Mitch and Luca is unmatched as Mitch gets a pass off the sidewall and Luca flings in the back of the net. And with a minute left, Krakens take the lead.
Yeah, a good passing play there from the Krakens. 81 miles per hour from that close. You almost have no reaction time. And another shot by Luca, strong but saved away by Bluey. As awkward for the Reapers here, stuck in net. Mitch, a good bump. Coffee keeping the pressure in. Jarhead sends it towards his own net, and it's wide, as it almost had an unfortunate own goal there, Jaegers.
Absolutely. The key word is almost, Squirrel, as they were able to get that one away. But with 20 seconds left, they need a goal, and they need it fast. And the thing I always say, Squirrel, is it doesn't matter how much you lose by, a loss is a loss. So in that case, Reapers need to start sending the whole house. They're getting bumps and almost open up for Jarhead, but Luca clears it away and is streaking down the field, and it's looking like Krakens are going to take the game one victory.
Yeah, Luca just killing that one, not even letting Mitch go for the 0-second goal. Really showing respect for this Reapers roster, making sure to just get that ball down and kill it so they can guarantee the one game advantage here in this best of 5. But you mentioned demos from the Reapers there at the end. Is that something you want to see more of, or do you think there are other adjustments that they can make as well?
Honestly, with a sub coming in, we could see an entirely different Reapers game plan. I mean, Jarhead, as good as he is, he's still a Challenger League player in a Titan match. So it'll definitely be better for the Reapers to have their actual roster on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Jarhead only getting 50-ish points in that first match. And I know points aren't everything, but when you're only putting up 50, then it kind of shows the impact you're having in that game. And for the Reapers to only lose by 1 while having a player that has 50 points, that's kind of, it kind of gives you a silver lining to look at if you're a Reapers fan.
Absolutely. And if you're a Reapers fan, you're going to get excited if they play well against the number 1 team in Titan with 2 Titans and a challenger sub up there. That's a scary team. And I mean, look for them to pop off in this next game.
Yeah, and that's something that the power rankers look at. They really take into account who's playing in these rosters, and for even though they lost that game 2-1, that might bump them up a little bit in next week's PR, just because they did have a challenger sub up and only lost by 1, and had decent pressure and really competed with the Krakens in shots. And we'll see how this sub adjustment plays out as Make-A-Wish, my favorite name in the Titan League, is now in this game.
Well, Squirrel, it's kind of a double-edged sword because if they don't do better with their actual roster in, that's not necessarily a good thing, as there's a little bit of pressure on the Reapers. They had kept it close in game 1 with a Challenger League sub up, but can they do the same with their full roster? Can they win this next game?
Well, Jaegers, I'll have an answer for all those questions in about 4.5 minutes, as Hopefully we have a resolution by then, but I would be okay with an overtime as well. We need some action here after having 2 sweeps. Coffee up high. Mitch shooting that one wide. Luca there for the follow-up there as no one rotated back into goal.
Luca, the sole goal scorer for the Krakens in this series, is really popping off. Puts another one in. All he really needed to do there was just hit the net. But regardless, way to be there. And Krakens go up early in this one. And let's see if Reapers can answer back.
Yeah, I'll need to, because you definitely don't want to go down 2-0 against this Kraken squad. Or actually, maybe you do, because last time they were up 2-0 on stream.
Oh, man.
Oh, what a bounce out, and Coffee there to send it in.
Luca just missing that one. Gets it off the pinch. Does the pre-flip for the shot, and Coffee is there. And already matching their goal total from the last game. And right now, the Reapers are reeling.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, something we didn't really mention, but is definitely a possibility, is that with a Challenger League sub up, it's certainly possible that Luca and Mitch might not have taken that game one as seriously as they could have. And, you know, taking it a little more seriously, we might get to see the Krakens absolutely pop off as they have all the shots in this game, or not all the shots, they have 2 saves to Reaper 0, and they have doubled the shots.
Oh no, as Bluey is just going to put that one in the back of the net. I'm not sure what happened there, Squirrel.
I think Bluey was trying to beat the Kraken's player, and it went a little too fast, own goaled that one, and you hate to see that, and that's something that we don't see a whole lot of in the Titan League. So Twitch chat, make sure you get your novice moment emotes out, as Mitt gonna make this one 4-0.
Mitch just going to 50 the whole team, as I didn't even have a view there, as it was just kind of hovering over the boost for a second. But Mitch going to make this one a 4-0 game with 3 minutes left. The Krakens are popping off on all cylinders right now.
Yeah, it's looking dominating as Luca shows off some mechanics there on the wall. Mitch, a good pop towards net. Can he get there? And a dunk from Coffee. 5-0.
Oh my goodness. I thought Make-A-Wish had the save and he was there, but Coffee just read the man and 50'd it into the back of the net. And oh my goodness, this Krakens team is something else.
The Krakens, as they are up 5-0, and Jaegers, I don't even know what adjustments you could make if you're a Reapers fan, or a Reapers player, because it seems like they're just getting shut down in every aspect right now.
They really are. They just need shots on target. It seems like the Reapers have been on their whole half, the whole game. They're not doing passes. They're not demoing. And I know it's easier said than done, and I'm just a Challenger player, but they need to do something to stop the bleeding. That's 6 goals in 2.5 minutes. Half a game gone by, and the Krakens are just having their way with them right now.
Yeah, and 2 players really respecting Luca's touch there, and Luca just plays it soft and lower below everybody for his hat trick with, honestly, about half the game left to play. They're on pace for a Brazil now that Ciz finally puts one in.
Ciz is gonna put one in the back of the net, but I mean, with 2 minutes left and 5 goals to make up, like, you gotta think it might be too little too late, barring an insane comeback. But I mean, if they do it, it'll be amazing. I'm just gonna say that.
Score 6 in about half the game. I think Reapers can too, but Kraken's hoping that doesn't happen, as that would be one of the greatest comebacks in Titan League and Nemesis history, as Ciz plays this one up, gets a flip reset, doesn't get the flip, I guess. Bluey pops that one up, and none of his team Jaegers was there to follow that up.
No, just a very dangerous ball by Bluey, very impressive, but no one was there to make the shot, and the Krakens got away with one right there.
Yeah, absolutely. As that one definitely could have been 6-2 as Mitch sends that one down. Bluey pops that one middle. Sizz is there. Just a little too high. Mitch playing that one to the corner. Gets it past one. Make-A-Wish fakes Mitch out. Bluey gonna have control. Going for a double touch. This is gonna be a tight angle. He can't quite get it. Make-A-Wish sends it into Coffee. Sizz keeping the pressure on. As finally, Jaegers, it seems like we have some signs of life here from the Reapers.
Absolutely, and Squirrel, if you look at the scoreboard, Make-A-Wish is having a bit of ping issue, but we'll have to see. I mean, in the past 2 minutes, the Krakens haven't scored again, and that could breathe a little bit of life into this Reapers team, and they could look to build off it in the next game.
Yeah, I mean, Kraken score 6 in the first 2.5 minutes, and unless this goes in,
Yeah,
and
that's the Brazil. Welcome
that
to
is-
Brazil.
that is the Brazil. It took them 2 minutes since their last goal to put one in.
I mean, 2 minutes, but they got the job done. And if I'm the Reapers, I'm on full reset mode right now. Look at the next game, 0-0, and just look to reverse sweep them. As Luca is going to put another one in at this point, it just isn't fair.
A little bit worse than a Brazil, but you can't really. Yeah, at this point, you're not even worried about the score of this one. If you're a Reapers player, you're game planning for next game. You're praying that Make-A-Wish's internet doesn't
my
get worse.
goodness.
As a 9th goal comes out from Mitch. As I think this is the highest number of goals scored on stream in Season 7.
I mean, at least so far, that's a ridiculous number, especially in a Titan match. I mean, Krakens, buddy, they're already dead. Stop it. As Bluey is going to put one on target, gets a goal back, tries to steal a little bit of momentum for this last game, but so far, I mean, the Krakens have been on an entirely different level.
Yeah, and Luca, 5 goals, 3 assists, 2 saves, 6 shots, and over 1,000 points as the man is looking to pad some Player of the Week stats. And he's got a good score line to do it. They're trying to get a little fancy here, almost with a nutty play, trying to get a highlight play to end it off, but the ball is going to touch the ground, and finally that nightmare of a match is over for the Reapers.
And Bluey leaving the lobby could have a potential car change. Hopefully not a rage quit, as the Reapers look to bounce back in this one. And Squirrel, I don't even know what the Reapers can do. Like,
Well-
I'm trying to look and see, but I mean, there's just I don't know how they stop this Kraken's offense.
Well, they had a few signs of life there at the end, so if they can just kind of cling on to those, try to put some pressure on, take some of the boost from the Kraken's players, and just you got to get your shot totals up. Like the Krakens outshot them massively, and as we head into Game 3, we're looking at 3 for 3 with sweeps here on the stream.
I mean, fingers crossed it doesn't happen. I still have faith that this Reapers team can steal one, but it's going to be a hard task as the Krakens are showing why they're the #1 team in power rankings.
Yeah, absolutely, and maybe just bring Jarhead in because it wasn't looking pretty, and Mitch trying to start things off early here, but the shot is wide. Mitch, good job getting back on defense though. Bluey playing that one to the middle. Luca in the right spot. Coffee, good control there, gets it up. Mitch already in the air, he gets a nice shot in the bottom right corner.
Mitch just kind of catches the defense leap, and he pre-jumped that from half field. But already, Mitch, the Krakens picking up where they left off. But I will say this, Squirrel, the Reapers, that was probably Make-A-Wish's first game on if he couldn't play for the previous one. And it does take a second to kind of get your bearings in a mechanical game like Rocket League. So it could just be stream nerves. It could be just be he needed a second to get the rotations down. But we'll have to see in the rest of this game 3.
Yeah, Make-A-Wish, I think, was stuck in traffic before that game, so coming in cold, and it definitely showed as Coffee gonna pitch that one middle. A double commit from the Reapers, but a double commit right back from the Krakens. Gonna give Sizz control, and we've seen what he can do with it. Looks for Bluey, pass, the shot, saved away by Luca. And Luca, a great follow-up touch as Titan players just showing off their pure speed right now.
Absolutely, and already it's looking like a more competitive game than last, albeit the Reapers haven't been able to get a goal yet. But in terms of pressure, it looks pretty even.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. As a Sizz with a great dunk and a good bump, leaving space for Make-A-Wish. Make-A-Wish gets
And that's
bumped
a goal.
up high, and a goal comes out to tie this one up.
And I believe that was Make-A-Wish just getting a bump. I'm not sure who beats 2 defenders in Bluey. All he had to do was not miss. And all the Reapers already doing leagues better than they had in the last game.
Luca looking to go, but gets sent away by Sizz. And, you know, Jaegers, one thing I want to touch on. Last time we saw Krakens on stream, they were up 2-0, and then they almost got reverse swept. So you know that's got to be in the back of their mind as Reapers trying to avoid getting swept. Luca, a nice little dribble. Bluey with a big save on the goal line, and a nice touch out as Make-A-Wish going to give that one over to Mitch. This ball up. A good dunk by Sizz, gonna leave some space. Bluey just so far back as third man, and that's just something that can't be happening when you're trying to avoid a sweep, Jaegers.
Absolutely, and you did say in the back of the Kraken's minds, but honestly, knowing Luca and knowing Mitch, I don't think that's the case. They're really they're casual with it. They're gonna go hard, but in terms of their personalities, I feel like they're kind of just vibing right now.
Yeah, I mean, and they have every reason to be comfortable, as especially last game, an outstanding performance, and this game a little bit quieter from a lot of bit quieter from Krakens. They have about 8 less goals than they did last game, but Mitch trying to put this one up for Luca. Luca gets shut down. Sizz popping this one up. Bluey looking to take over. Gets 50'd out to the sidewall. Make-A-Wish up. This ball, hard read from Coffee. Coffee sends it away, and Luca opting to touch that one into his own corner. The net open. Mitch gets
what a
the save off the crossbar.
man.
And the Kraken's defense stays strong.
Honestly, I thought that was in the back of the net, and credit to Mitch. That was an amazing save. Oh my goodness. What a way to keep this game tied.
Yeah, somebody clip that one, because that is a potential save of the season already, but Make-A-Wish trying to extend the series, puts one in.
Make-A-Wish, just with the searching shot, I think Sizz may have confused Luca. Luca thinking Sizz was going to hit the ball, and Sizz goes for the 5,000 IQ fake to put his team on top.
Yeah, we saw it earlier in this series where Luca actually kind of faked out the Reapers, but had it happen to him, and Mitch tying this one up quickly.
And Mitch just going to read off the backboard. Coffee probably calming that he was missing, and Mitch, due to the calm, was able to realize that before the Reapers, and the Krakens going to capitalize off of that whiff.
Yeah, Bluey with a nice air dribble, gets bumped off of it though. This ball dangerous in the midfield. Sizz can't quite get the touch he wanted to. Mitch, Coffee both gonna miss. Sizz gonna miss. Coffee plays this one down. Sizz is in the corner though. Make-A-Wish Gets it past 2. An awkward ball. This one just awkwardly bouncing in the Kraken's half. Luka finally going to relieve that pressure as we see a little chain dash there on the wall. I love seeing these Titan players and their mechanics. Is this one just going to find its way into an open net?
And Bluey going to put yet another in the back of the net. It seems like the Reapers are finally finding their rhythm, Squirrel.
Yeah. One thing in the Titan League, you do not want to give a team momentum because they can just take it and run with it as it's looking like we might have a game 4 here. Luka trying to do everything he can to seal this one. Coffee off the corner. This ball awkward. Sizz racing back to get this one. Luka already up in the air. A good dunk. A demo comes out by Make-A-Wish, and that might just seal it as this ball up in the air. 0 seconds. It just has to touch the ground, and there we have it. We avoid the sweep.
Well, Squirrel, we don't have another sweep. GG's by the Reapers to breathe some life back in their team. And if you're the Krakens, you're not worried about it yet, but you have to be thinking about that almost reverse sweep in the back of your mind. And do you think the Reapers can do it?
I think they can. They certainly showed a lot of great potential there in that game. Their shooting was good, their defense looked great, and they actually outshot the Krakens, and that's something that a lot of teams aren't going to do this season. So good shout out to the Reapers there. But Jaegers, I genuinely think if the Reapers can win this game, I don't see the Krakens fending off 2 reverse sweeps on stream.
Absolutely. And, it's very unlikely that lightning strikes twice. But, if anything happens, it's going to happen on Forbidden Temple, where the ball bounces crazy places and dreams go to die.
Yep, we'll see who can read these corner bounces a little bit better, as the word around the street is they're not quite the same as every other map, and Luka hits that one off the corner of the goalpost. Probably goes in on a normal map, but hey, Jaegers, it's not a normal map.
Yeah, it's Forbidden Temple. I always knew there was something funky about it, and I do have my questions as to why it's still in the rotation. But Austin said it is because it is. So here we are, and we're dealing with it, and hopefully it lives up to its name.
It is, man. It is what it is. Is Mako throwing that one off the back wall. Coffee there to shoot. Can't find the top corner. Bluey, good control. Gets a nice flick. Make-A-Wish can't find the demo on the goalie. Luka sending that one far across. Sizz up, but Mitch, good control. Trying to stay in front of that. Coffee takes it from him. Bluey controlling the corner, and that's a few times, Jaegers, where we've seen Bluey just take a speeding ball and just completely stop its momentum.
Absolutely. What ball control by Bluey. And the man really popped off in the last game. He had top of the scoreboard, 2 goals to his name. But so far, this Reapers team is really meeting the task at hand and matching the Krakens to every ball.
Almost had an own goal there, but the pinch comes out to send that one out. Make-A-Wish demos Luka. Coffee drops this one down for Mitch. Mitch not close enough. This ball hard off the wall. Luka, a good job reading that one there. Sizz opts to fake that one. Mitch with a booming clear. What is Bluey gonna do with it? Bluey actually gets beat by Mitch. This ball up high. Sizz, good control into the corner. And, with half the game gone by, 0-0 Jaegers. This is the closest game we've seen so far. Can you give us some insight as to why?
Well, both teams are playing with a bit of swagger, and that 9-1, 9-2 game is way in the past. Both these teams playing like Titan players, and they really are putting on a show.
Yeah, the offense and defense looking good from both of these teams. As a miss comes out, Make-A-Wish can't quite get it. Sizz pre-jumps Luka. Coffee, no boost. Trying to get this one out. Gets it by 2 defenders actually with no boost, but Sizz, a full tank to work with, gets the flip.
Oh, what a
Maybe.
play.
Maybe he didn't get the flip. I can never tell. Bluey
Oh,
off the wall. What?
I was gonna say, you know how Rocket League is with flip resets. Sometimes you think you got it, looks like you got it, but you don't. But sometimes you have no idea how you get the flip reset, and you just have it. You don't realize till after you're about to hit the ground and do a wave dash or whatnot.
Yeah, and speaking of wave dash, Luca with the little wave dash demo there. Good mechanics out of him, and he's always been one to watch, always been impressive here in the Titan League, as he is one of the most decorated players in Nemesis, and his
Oh, what a
teammate
save.
doing a good job supporting him as Luca put a great shot on, but an even better save. This ball is up, goes under Mitch, gets the bump on Luca, the net kind of open, Bluey sends it high as Reapers seem like they've had so many chances, Jaegers just can't quite find the back of the net.
And one comment I wanted to make, Squirrel, is Luca, I believe he was a 2 or maybe 3-time champion, 2-time MVP. And to make matters more, he's 7 all-time on the demos list, if that makes you think anything, as the Reapers are going to miss the open net on that one. And with 30 seconds left, we still have a tied game, and anything can happen going into OT.
Jaegers, I feel like this game should have been like 3-0 in favor of the Reapers, just how many chances they've had, but just can't quite find the accuracy. And sometimes, you know, it might not be the other team's defense. Sometimes you're your own worst enemy, just being slightly off target, and it might come back to bite them in the butt as we're about to head into overtime. 3 seconds left. All the ball has to do is hit the ground, and we'll go into a do or die situation for the Reapers.
The scariest thing on Nemesis, Game 4 OT on Forbidden Temple. And right now, both these teams, all it takes is one bounce as Bluey is going to try and 50 Luca, but the Kraken's going to put this one away at least for the time being.
Yeah, and now Kraken's with control. Bluey, good job sending that one away, but Luca already up for that. Gets a nice contest there on the end of that aerial. Coffee to the corner. Bluey is up off the back wall. Mitch does a good job. Gets a little ground pinch there. Both teams racing to that ball, but Sizz, a big clear out. Luca, good control. Gets it past 2, but Bluey, we've seen him control the ball well on his own. As Mitch, impeccable backboard defense, and right now, Jaegers, you can tell that neither team wants to lose this game.
Neither team wants to lose this game, Squirrel, and you're talking about backboard defense and just defense in general. Luca has 5 saves in this game, and on the other team, Sizz has 4. Both players doing what they need to do to keep their team in the game. And with attack after attack, Bluey has a flick here, could get past Mitch, but Mitch makes it back in time with 0 boost. But however, this is a dangerous attack as Luca able to save that one away. It wasn't registered, but it did the job as, oh my goodness, Make-A-Wish almost own goals it, but Luca puts in the back of the net for the Game 4 victory.
I think we had a almost Cuck's pinch on goal, followed by a save of the Cuck's pinch on goal. The ball bounces straight back to Luca, and that's just how the series ends, Jaegers.
Well, we were talking about earlier, Squirrel. Forbidden Temple is a weird map. Weird things happen, and that was no exception.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, if you're a Reapers fan or a Reapers player, there's no shame in that one. You know, you took a game off of them. You had a really close game there on Forbidden Temple. You know, just slight shooting accuracy, and then boom, next thing you know, you'd be in Game 5 with the #1 team in Titan League. But Kraken's showing why they deserved that #1 spot, putting up a dominating performance. Especially in game number 2, where it was 9-2. So a great way to end the night off, Jaegers, following 2 sweeps. We didn't get the game 5, but we did get a lot of good content.
Absolutely, and I mean, Game Two Reapers, they showed that that's not who they were,
Mhm.
and really in the rest of the series, they met the match the whole time, and it was just a very entertaining series the whole way through.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you were entertained the whole way through, as that is going to do it for tonight. Make sure you check us out on socials. We have an Instagram, a Twitter. Check out the YouTube. Join the Discord if you're not already in the Discord. And make sure you continue to join us on Wednesday as we continue to make that push for Twitch partner. If you know anybody that wasn't watching the stream tonight, make sure to get them out here on Wednesday, as we have some exciting matchups planned for that one. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a great night, and we'll see you later.
All I wanna do is to put my arms around you and watch these moments fall back into place. All I wanna do is to make you stop and love me. How can I be blue when you catch me in these feelings like okay. I love you, I do need you, I do love you, I do need you. I love you, I do need you. Oh, I love you, I do need you. Oh, I love you, I do need you, I do love you, I do need you. I love you, I do need you. Oh, I love you, I do need you. All I wanna do is to put my arms around you and watch these moments fall back into place. All I wanna do is to make you stop and love me. How can I be blue when you catch me in these feelings like okay. I love you, I do, I need you, I do, I love you, I do, I need you. I love you, I do, I need you. Oh, I love you, I do, need you. Oh, I love you, I do, need you, I do, I love you, I do, need you. I love you, I do, need you. Oh, I love you, I do, need you.